The Fever are showing that they want that ring now because they have just signed DeWanna Bonner to the Indiana Fever for the 2025 season. Can we all just take a moment of silence for the fans of the Connecticut Sun because they have pretty much lost everything today? So to those fans, my condolences. But hey, this is huge. She can shoot from three. She can push through the paint. She has length. Now we are not short on shooters in Indiana, let me tell you. And this next season is going to be absolute cinema. Think about it. DeWanna Bonner playing against Alyssa Thomas in Phoenix, but also Sophie Cunningham going against Phoenix. And then we have Nalissa Smith going against the Fever for the Wings. The first game of the season is Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky against the Fever, which I don't really think is the biggest rivalry anymore. And with everything that happened and everything that went down in Seattle when Jewel Lloyd and the now Aces play Seattle and Skylar Diggins-Smith and that management team, that whole issue, and where the heck is Kennedy Carter going to land? But hey, listen, let's get back to the point. And who called this? None other than Rebecca Lobo, who had to turn off her comments. She always has to turn off her comments when she talks about the Indiana Fever because of a lot of the backlash that she gets. But guess what? She was right. And I was really hyped on Janelle Salon. I really, really was. But in a lot of the comments, yesterday I was actually very sick. So I did jump in those comments, was talking to a lot of you guys about DeWanna Bonner, saying that I think she definitely has at least another good year in the tank, as a lot of people were thinking she might retire. But her numbers are not lying. Her numbers were very good for last season. She went into a bit of a slump, but overall, she was a sniper. So let's just take a look at her stats now. She is a forward guard, forward being amazing for the Indiana Fever. She is 6'4", 14.9 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 2.3 assists. She was all defensive team 2015, all rookie 2009. Wow. All WNBA 2015 and 2020, and sixth Woman of the Year in 3 different years. And for last season, her stats. So she did go through like a little bit of a slump last season, but for the majority of the season, she was just shooting and sinking. 33 minutes, 26 points, 29-16, 35-10, 33-29. Around here is when she kind of went through a weird little slump, like 6 points in 36 minutes, but that was not her regular gameplay for the season. She is really solid. 33 minutes, 29 points, 36, 24, 31, 23. I mean, 40 minutes, 22 points. She has some gas left in the tank. This is not the season for her to retire. And in the playoff, I think it was the playoffs where they had Stephanie White had her defending Caitlin. She was cooking Caitlin. And I'm guessing that Stephanie White had a lot to do with this decision, as she was the coach over in Connecticut and she knows what DeWanna Bonner can do. And at 6'4", I think she was just very hard to pass up. And we cannot say that the Indiana Fever has no enforcers anymore, because I don't know if that was a criteria in their free agency, but think about everyone that they acquired. Natasha Howard, an enforcer. Sophie Cunningham, obviously an enforcer. DeWanna Bonner, she is not afraid to get chippy on that court. I think this might be bigger news than Luka Doncic going to the Lakers. Now, for the time of logic, the power forward position. As it stands now, the Indiana Fever, with the signing of DeWanna Bonner, I'm assuming they have no more cap space. This was it. Now, while DeWanna Bonner does have length, and that is 1,000% something that Indiana needs, because if you think about the championship teams, they're big. They have a Jonquel Jones. They have Leonie Fevich. They have a big team, Breanna Stewart, and Indiana is not a big team considering those elements. So in that way, DeWanna Bonner was a great addition to the team. As far as pushing through the paint, she is also like deceivingly good at that. but is she the most powerful power forward that could possibly have been cultivated? I'm not sure. Again, this is our 2025 season. This is not like in 2026, everyone becomes a free agent. So I think that this 2025 season is almost like a standalone year just to see like how everybody gels and meshes and what they can do with this Indiana Fever team like now. But I am wondering what their moves are in this 4-3-4 forward positioning and what the Indiana Fever is thinking. And I know a lot of people are saying, hey, cut Katie Lou Samuelson, cut Christy Wallace, who is on a protected contract, cut Victoria Saxton. But please remember this. In 2026, there are going to be 2 new expansion teams. And I would think if I were the front office, let's keep a few players that we are not afraid to lose in the expansion draft. And I'm not saying that Katie Lou Samuelson has not come back a little bit in Unrivaled, because she has. And I think that she proves that there is some bench depth in her. But, you know, the Toronto Tempo are coming in. The new Portland team is coming in. And with this in the expansion draft this past season, the teams got to protect 6 players. So there are going to be just double that amount. Like with the new expansion draft, there's just going to be double the amount of players taken away. So I would want to play it safe and keep 2 players that you aren't afraid of losing also. I don't know if that makes sense. And I would also like to see the Fever going in the direction of a really good backup center. And while I think Dantas is that person to come in for Aaliyah Boston right now, her ability to defend isn't the best. What she's pretty good at, especially for her size, is shooting from the perimeter, those 3-pointers. But she is slow. She cannot, not that centers aren't slow, but she can't really push very well in transition. She is not the best defender by any means. But Amber Cox said it. They are looking for veterans with that playoff experience.
So I think as we're looking to free agency, we'll think about veterans coming in with that playoff experience.
And what did they do? They signed Natasha Howard. What did they do? They signed DeWanna Bonner. 2 veterans with playoff experience to cultivate this young team and take Indiana to the next level. What potential there is. And to anybody who thinks that there was drama between Cece and Bonner, listen, like, this is like in basketball, on-court chippiness happens a lot, and it is left off the court. Look at what happened with Marina Mabry and Dejanay Carrington. They had a lot of altercations beforehand, and then they played on the same team. And when you have a teammate, your focus is that team and building that chemistry. And I have to think that their professionalism, their etiquette in this way, like I choose to look past that, and I am choosing to look at the game, and I am really just looking forward to what DeWanna Bonner can bring to the Indiana Fever and how they build their team chemistry this season. Can we officially call the Fever a super stacked team now?